Well, hello everybody. It's already been a week since you last saw this pretty face. Now, unfortunately, I'm here today without the help of Mr. Mark Llewellyn DL. But today I bring for you an announcement that Mike Bartlett's Cock is finally getting its much-needed Northern premiere, and we are joined by the lovely Hannah Ellis Ryan and, of course, the one and only John O'Neill. Still not enough for you on today's show. Burlesque announces that it's returning to Manchester, and we are speaking with actor George Maguire. So keep your eyes peeled, flowers. This is how your show's looking. Her Productions and Up Here Productions are thrilled to announce the Northern premiere of Mike Bartlett's critically acclaimed play Cock this November at 53.2 in Manchester. Now, it's directed by Rupert Hill, renowned for his role as Jamie Baldwin in Coronation Street. This production promises to be a highlight of the theatrical season, and joining me now is Hannah Ellis Ryan and John O'Neill. Hannah, first of all, what is Her Productions?
Her Productions is my theatre company based in Manchester. We do work that focuses on a female voice at the core, but we also do a lot of reclaiming. So we do annual all-female Shakespeares, which are really, really joyful. Our last one was A Taming of the Shrew adaptation. I do shrew in inverted commas because obviously we were claiming it from a female voice. And we do a lot of new writing as well.
So then we go on to this one, which to me sounds like the ultimate in masculine kind of productions by its very title. It's Mark Bartlett's Cock. John, tell us all about that.
So the play Cock is a play about identity, a play about discovering and trying to become who you really want to be. It's one of my favourite plays as a gay theatre maker. And I love it, Hannah loves it, and we both wanted to do it, and we had a conversation, and now here we are. And it's never been done in Manchester, and it's mad.
It is crazy, isn't it, to think it's never been actually touched by our lovely northernness here. It's been done, and it's been done with much success down south, though. What do you think its main selling points of success have been?
Well, Taron Egerton is probably what sold out the last one, and Jonathan Bailey. So it's usually big star casting. But other than that, it's really, really good. It's just a good play. It's got a good message. It's funny. It's deep. It allows you to question yourself, question what you think about yourself.
I think it is. And I think we've got a lot of, theatre is in such a tricky time right now. I think it'd be no secret to say that the theatre industry is in such a difficult time. And for us as independent theatre makers, there's so much about Mike Bartlett that represents kind of a getting back to basics of stripped back storytelling, character focused. The great thing with Bartlett is you can do it with absolutely nothing. It can just be people on stage having conversations, talking to each other. And the themes of it are so timeless. So we feel that's, as John said, we had a chat together. We have had mutual respect for each other for years. We've worked together before, and realizing that this play that is both of our favorite plays has never been done in Manchester before, we were like, we have to just do it. Especially now, while things feel like theatre could be in a bad way. So hopefully we can just give people a great night of entertainment of some good, classic, excellent theatre.
And of course, John, you mentioned there that the success perhaps down south was not just the narrative, indeed, it was the casting. How do you go about battling with that when you're coming up north? Who have you got playing the characters here?
Me. No, we've got me, Hannah, Joe Gill, and a great actor called Colin Connor. And we just went for good, really good actors, good storytellers, good people. Obviously, a star name like Taron Egerton is going to massively help, but I think we just, like Hannah said, we wanted to go back to basics. Good storytellers, good people, good actors, a good company, and just do the play justice, really.
And you are doing it justice because you're taking it to one of the, not just the up-and-coming, but one of the lovely theatres, small theatres around here in Manchester. You're taking it to 53 too. How important was it for you to choose a venue like that?
Yeah, it was sort of fundamental part of our planning. It was part of the real building block of us wanting to do it. We were at 53.2 when we first spoke about doing the play. And everything that venue represents, I think, is where we wanted to do it. We probably wouldn't even be doing it if we hadn't been able to get them on board as partners, because the vibe of 53.2, what they represent in the local ecology, and just the space itself, how beautiful it is. You can do that gorgeous, stripped back, raw theatre in there. It's really, it's perfect. Yeah.
So, John, for people that perhaps are thinking about coming to see this, but they don't know the story because it's kind of, a bit out there, isn't it? What would you say? How would you describe it? How would you sell this to people?
Well, the story is about a character called John, who finds himself in a situation of discovery. So he's been in a relationship with his partner, Em, for a long time. They've built a life together, a house together. And then John decides or discovers or thinks he might be straight and falls in love with character W. And they begin this romantic kind of affair, this relationship, this thing. And it's about how these characters all discover who they are and what they really, really want. And my character, M, invites John and W to dinner. And we all sit down around a big table and we discuss who he should love and why he shouldn't love a woman when he's been in love with a man. And it kind of all just blows up into this huge comedy dinner scene of people figuring out who they are in this crazy world.
I think I've seen the down south version. It is going to be fantastic. I'm very intrigued to see how you're going to bring this up into the north and strip it back to what Mike Bartlett had intended to do. This is going to be on at the 532, 13th to the 17th of November. Tickets are available by contacting 532's website, is it?
Indeed.
Well, I think we're going to sell out this one. I think this one's going to sell out. For now, though, Hannah and John, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
George Maguire is an acclaimed West End actor and winner of the Olivier Award for Best Supporting Actor in a Musical for his performance of Dave Davis in Sunny Afternoon. Now, he's returning to Manchester in the production known as Burlesque, featuring the music of Christina Aguilera and Todrick Hall. It's going to be running here in Manchester from the 3rd of October till November the 2nd. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
What is the story of this Burlesque musical?
Right, so if anyone watching is familiar with the film, it's set in a burlesque club. We've changed it so it's in New York. It's not in LA anymore. And our story focuses around Ali, played by the wonderful Jess Foley. And she comes to New York to find her birth mother. And that happens to be the owner of the burlesque club. And throughout the show, I mean, I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but she goes from sort of small town girl to, huge Christina Aguilera type star. So it's a big epic story.
And it's done really well. It came to Manchester, I think it started in Manchester actually a few months ago.
Yeah.
And it's done really, really well. What do you think the success of this has been?
Well, do you know what? I think it's a mixture of things. I think it's there's a bit of a cult following of the movie, that's for sure. Like there's people coming along that know Burlesque, but I think also there's people that don't know the film and are coming along because of, say, like the music of Todrick Hall and Christina Aguilera and Sia, and Jess Foley's written some songs. I think the success and what's bringing people back is that it's a massive show. It's like a big kind of Broadway West End style show, and the music is really contemporary. It's got like, hip hop. It's got musical theatre, but it's got soul. The dancing's amazing. We've got this huge ensemble of dancers, and I think it celebrates people for for who they are and for what they can give to art, So,
and of course, we should say it's not just the music that was in the film. There is a lot more been added to this, and actually, it's enhanced it a lot better, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the music in the film was great, so they've kept that, and then we've added, songs. So Todrick and Jess have written the songs, and they're both great songwriters in their own right, but they write very different styles, and it's like you say, it's really enhanced what was already there. And it basically, I think, with a musical, you need to go a bit further than the original source. And Stephen Antin, who wrote the film, has written the show, and he's been very careful at sort of what bits of the story need new music and who's going to write that. And so, for me, as someone that's coming into it as an actor, I'm just amazed at how well it flows and what people watching love really more than anything is how the music, lifts the story.
And what are people to take away from the story? What's at the heart of this story?
Well, I would say it's about being yourself. And I think, in this day and age of sort of, people really fighting for, equality and inclusivity and sort of, a lack of kind of, I don't, sort of prejudice against freedom. I think what it does, especially for audiences, we have audiences of all different, walks of life and different ages and everything. So I think people come along and feel, safe, but they're watching something that is like risque, it's kind of in your face. It's got boys, girls, it's got everything in between. It's got, it's really something for everyone. And I think the excitement of that and watching that be celebrated is what really pleases people.
Now, who are you playing in this?
Well, I'm playing the baddie. I'm playing Vince. Yeah, he's not a nice guy. He's basically the ex-husband of Tess, who owns the club. And he is the antagonist. He's trying to mess things up constantly. And he wants to get money. He wants to get his own way. He wants to, have his cake and eat it. But he's a fun part. He's a fun part to play. But he's not a nice one.
And what kind of song do you have in this then? What's your piece de resistance, shall we say, in this show?
My song was written by Mr. Todrick Hall, and it's an absolute banger, if I don't say so myself. And he wrote it, he's very clever the way he writes. And it's called Ammo. It's me and all like the ensemble boys. And, I don't want to give away too much, but there might be some tap dancing within it.
So it's not just one thing. It seems like it's a plethora of different experiences and enhancements within this show.
Yeah, it's everything. I think that's it. And I think the way it uses different styles, it's got, the dancing can be really sort of, street and commercial, but also sort of proper burlesque style, cabaret type stuff. And then there's like, acrobatics. But the music, I think, allows that to happen because it is so varied.
And have you been to Manchester before?
I have. I love Manchester.
And do you love it? Favourite thing about Manchester?
Oh, Canal Street.
Yes. It is the best place on the planet, isn't it?
I mean, it's where we ended up most nights. It was, again, it's somewhere that you just... And Manchester's a great city all round, don't get me wrong. I love it. Yeah. I've always loved it. I've been there many times to the Opera House. And, I think it's got a great vibe all over. It's got great music, it's got great bars. But there's something about Canal Street where you just can go and just feel welcome and, and at any time, and I think that was great. That was great for us. But yeah, and the audiences are amazing.
Just before we let you go, try as best as you can in 3 words to sum up why people should spend their hard-earned cash and come and watch Burlesque the musical.
Well, it's sexy, live, and fierce.
Sexy, live, and fierce. I think sums it up perfectly. For now, though, thank you so much for your time. Absolutely brilliant. George Maguire there, everybody.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, George. Burlesque the musical, everybody, from the 3rd of October to the 2nd of November. We are giddy about that. For now, though, we are out of time. But thanks to each and every one of you for watching this week's episode of Your Manchester.